Men over 50, can what you eat first thing in the morning quietly decide your performance later that night? Most men blame age or testosterone, but the real problem is a morning habit that drains energy, sleep, and confidence before noon. In this video, I'll show you what to eat every morning to restore rock-solid performance and all-day energy without pills or gimmicks. I'm Dr. Barbara O'Neill, a clinician and educator with over 40 years studying natural health and metabolism. Tell me where you're watching from, and if this helps you, like and subscribe. When you were younger, you could probably get away with skipping breakfast or grabbing whatever was quick and still feel sharp. But now, tell me honestly, do you ever wake up feeling foggy, tired before noon, or like your body's running on empty even when you got decent sleep? That's not just aging, it's your hormones and metabolism reacting to how you start your day. After 50, your body doesn't bounce back the same way. Testosterone production slows, insulin sensitivity drops, and overnight fasting puts more pressure on your first meal to stabilize your system. When you delay eating or reach for something high in sugar and low in nutrients, you're setting off a biological chain reaction that leaves you drained both physically and emotionally. It quietly disrupts your blood sugar, blunts morning testosterone response, and taxes your adrenal system, all before 10 a.m. Now, I'm not just talking about general health. I'm talking about the 3 pillars that affect your confidence as a man: energy, performance, and mental focus. Most men over 50 assume their drop in stamina or mood is just part of getting older, but in many cases, it's how their body is reacting to breakfast, or the lack of it. Your morning routine is the single biggest overlooked factor influencing male hormones throughout the day. And what you eat within the first hour of waking has a direct effect on how your brain, heart, and blood vessels perform, especially when it comes to circulation and drive. Here's what I recommend: eat within 60 minutes of waking up, even if it's something small. Prioritize a combination of clean protein and healthy fat, like eggs with avocado, or a scoop of quality protein blended with fiber-rich berries and seeds. This helps stabilize blood sugar, reduce cortisol spikes, and support natural testosterone rhythms that peak in the morning hours. And if you hydrate first with warm water and a pinch of sea salt, you're giving your metabolism the minerals it needs to switch on. Once you start doing this consistently, most men report a surprising difference in mental clarity and stamina by mid-morning. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There's one specific food that goes beyond general nutrition and directly supports blood flow, hormone health, and rock-solid performance. And most men never think to include it. That's exactly what we'll get into next. Let me ask you this: when was the last time a food actually felt like it was working with your body, not just filling your stomach? Because there's one food I recommend to nearly every man over 50 who walks into my office, and it's not a powder, pill, or something trendy. It's simple, powerful, and biologically aligned with what your body actually needs in the morning: beetroot. Yes, the humble beet, cooked, juiced, or powdered. This root vegetable has a unique ability to activate something most men desperately need more of after 50, nitric oxide. Here's why that matters. Nitric oxide is a molecule your body naturally produces to relax and widen blood vessels. When blood vessels expand, you get better blood flow everywhere. That means more oxygen to your muscles, brain, and yes, your performance below the belt. But men over 50 tend to produce less nitric oxide as they age, which leads to fatigue, slower recovery, brain fog, and even confidence issues in the bedroom. Beetroot contains natural nitrates that convert into nitric oxide in the body, restoring that youthful flow without medication. Now let's tie that back to your mornings. When you eat beets or drink beet juice, first thing in the day, especially alongside a light protein source, you're setting the stage for better circulation, improved stamina, and enhanced testosterone signaling. In fact, several clinical studies have shown that beetroot can improve endurance, reduce blood pressure, and support vascular health in men over 50. It's not just theory. I've had patients who were dealing with sluggish mornings, poor energy at work, and a lack of drive in general. And once they added beetroot to breakfast, they noticed steady, sustainable improvements in just a few weeks. But here's the trap. Most men unknowingly cancel out these benefits. How? By pairing beets with sugary cereals, toast, or even fruit juices that spike blood sugar and increase inflammation. That's why I stress, if you're using beetroot in the morning, keep it clean, juice it fresh, blend it into a smoothie with unsweetened almond milk, or simply roast and eat it with eggs or lentils. No processed carbs, no added sugar, just real food supporting your real biology. Stick with it for 2 weeks and watch what happens to your energy levels, your workouts, even your sleep. But we're just getting started because beetroot is powerful, yes, but it works best when you understand how it fits into a bigger hormonal and circulatory picture. That's what we're exploring next. If you're a man over 50, chances are you've tried to fix your energy, your testosterone, or maybe your performance, but probably not all three at once. And that's where most plans fall apart. Because in the male body, especially after 50, those three systems, energy, testosterone, and blood flow, aren't separate. They're tightly connected like gears in an engine. When one slows down, the others do too. But when you support them together, that's when real momentum builds, and you stop feeling like you're fighting your own body. Let's start with testosterone. It's not just about libido. Testosterone is your vitality hormone. It affects how well your cells produce energy, how clearly you think, how motivated you feel, and how resilient your body is. But testosterone doesn't act alone. It needs proper blood flow to reach target tissues, and it needs mitochondrial energy, the energy your cells produce, to actually be effective. If your circulation is weak or your cells are sluggish from poor nutrition or sleep, testosterone can't do its job, no matter how high or low the number is on a lab test. I've had countless men tell me, my doctor says my testosterone is in the normal range, but I still feel exhausted and off. That's because we can't chase numbers. We have to support the whole system. And here's where food becomes your best ally. When you pair a nitric oxide boosting food like beetroot with a testosterone-friendly fat like walnuts or pumpkin seeds, you're doing something powerful. You're increasing blood flow and giving your body the raw material to produce and utilize testosterone efficiently. This combo also stabilizes blood sugar, which is key because every blood sugar crash is a cortisol spike, and cortisol, your stress hormone, directly competes with testosterone. So when you feel drained in the afternoon or wired but tired at night, it's often this hormonal tug of war beneath the surface. By giving your body what it needs early in the day, you reduce those stress responses and unlock a hidden benefit: better nighttime recovery. Men who support this full triangle, energy, hormones, circulation, often find their sleep improves without even trying. That's because testosterone production depends on quality deep sleep. And deep sleep depends on healthy blood flow and low inflammation. It's all connected. So if you've been trying to fix one thing at a time, more coffee for energy, a supplement for testosterone, or a pill for circulation, it's time to think bigger. In the next chapter, I'll show you the sneaky morning habits that sabotage this entire system without you realizing it, and what to do instead. One of the most frustrating things I hear from men over 50 is this: but I am eating healthy. I start every morning with oatmeal, orange juice, or a protein bar. Why do I still feel so tired and flat by midday? And I get it. You're trying. You've cut out the obvious junk, maybe even started walking more. But here's the truth most men never hear. Even healthy-sounding breakfast habits can quietly work against your testosterone, energy, and performance, especially after 50, when your metabolism becomes more sensitive to blood sugar swings and hormonal shifts. Let's start with oatmeal. It's marketed as heart healthy, and while it does have some benefits, most men are eating instant oats, sweetened with brown sugar or honey, and topped with fruit. That's a carb bomb first thing in the morning. The spike in blood sugar feels good briefly, but it's followed by a crash that leaves your brain foggy, your energy tanking, and your cortisol rising. High cortisol not only stresses your body, but suppresses testosterone. The same goes for fruit smoothies made with juice or protein bars with hidden sugars. These cause inflammation and insulin resistance, which choke off blood flow and blunt hormonal response. Even something as simple as timing can backfire. Many men eat too late in the morning or grab breakfast on the go under stress. Eating in a rushed, stressed state triggers your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode, which shuts down digestion and keeps your body in a defensive state. That means you're not absorbing nutrients properly and your hormones are being told to hold off instead of thrive. So, what do you do instead? Here's what I recommend. Start your morning calm, hydrated, and nourished. Within 30 to 60 minutes of waking, have a breakfast that combines clean protein, healthy fats, and a nitrate-rich food like beetroot or leafy greens. For example, try 2 pasture-raised eggs cooked in olive oil, a handful of pumpkin seeds or walnuts, and a side of roasted beets or a small beet smoothie, not with juice, but with water or unsweetened almond milk. This combo fuels energy, supports blood flow, and doesn't spike your insulin. You'll feel steady, clear, and more in control throughout the day. And here's the twist. When you eat this, matters almost as much as what you eat. There's a specific window in the morning where your hormones are primed for nutrient absorption and blood sugar balance, and missing it can dull your results. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to time your breakfast and your day to turn one morning change into all-day strength, stamina, and better sleep. By now you've seen how one simple morning change, what you eat and when, can shift your energy, hormones, and circulation. But here's the powerful part. When you stay consistent with that morning habit, it doesn't just change your mornings, it starts to rewire your entire day. Your body begins to recognize that it's safe, fueled, and supported. That creates a cascade of hormonal balance, steady stamina, and mental clarity that lasts far beyond breakfast. And for men over 50, that consistency is what rebuilds trust in your own body again. Let's talk about the routine that brings this to life. Within 30 to 60 minutes of waking, drink a tall glass of water with a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. This rehydrates your cells and gives your adrenal system the minerals it needs to stabilize morning cortisol. Next, eat your testosterone-friendly breakfast, quality protein, healthy fat, and a nitrate-rich vegetable. Think scrambled eggs with olive oil, a small serving of roasted beets, and a few pumpkin seeds or avocado slices on the side. No sugar, no toast, no juices, just clean fuel. From there, take a 10 to 15-minute walk, outside if you can. Morning sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which directly supports deeper sleep at night and healthy testosterone production. Gentle movement after eating also aids blood flow and insulin sensitivity. I've seen men add just this short walk and report fewer crashes, better focus, and more energy by early evening. Now here's where this habit really starts to shift your day. When your blood sugar is steady and your hormones are supported early, you're less likely to reach for caffeine, snacks, or comfort food later. Your mood stabilizes, you feel more focused, less irritable. You're not just managing symptoms anymore, you're changing your internal rhythm. And by the time you get to dinner, your body is still in balance, which sets you up for deeper, restorative sleep. That's when your testosterone is naturally produced, your brain detoxes, and your blood pressure resets. And here's what I want you to really hear. When you do this, just one morning change, you're sending a message to your body and your brain that you are still in charge. that you can trust yourself again, that you're not stuck in decline, you're building strength, not just physical strength, but emotional resilience, sexual confidence, and the energy to engage fully with your life. Because the version of you that wakes up tomorrow, he's built by what you choose today, and that's a future worth fighting for. If you've made it to the end of this video, I hope you feel something shift, because the truth is, you're not broken, you're just ready for a new chapter. Aging doesn't mean losing your strength or drive. For men over 50, it's an invitation to live with deeper wisdom, better energy, and more intention. And it starts with how you wake up. One choice, one morning, repeated with consistency. That's how you rebuild vitality. Not with extremes, not with gimmicks, with small wins that add up. I've watched men transform their energy, sleep, and confidence by making one change and sticking with it. So if today's message spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments. Let's build a community where men lift each other up. Like and subscribe if this helped you. And remember, your best years aren't behind you. They're just starting, one strong morning at a time.